It's a piano that just came in today. It was one that we purchased. And it's funny because it's one that Melon actually sold someone else many, many moons ago. This is a DeVoe and Son. I haven't done anything to it yet. It is pretty dirty so far. I don't know what's going on inside of it. Let's play a couple keys here. Ooh, that sounds lovely. Ew, what is that stuff? Definitely needs some tuning. Let's take a look at the back here real quick. Not so pretty. But yeah, this is how they come in sometimes, and it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. Let me take a look inside real quick. Ugh, spiders. Yeah, I don't see anything too awful bad in there so far. Okay, more later. Alright, so this is that same DeVoe and Son, and I'm just going to take it apart real quick, kind of to show you why you don't want to try this at home. First off, it's dirty. Second off, the alcohol part is a little different. Oh, it's dusty. Gross. Screwdriver for this part. Two screws. I can take a better look at what's going on in there. Okay, well, I did drop a screw down in there, and that's not good. Oh, I got this nice little sign in here still. Oh, quality, American manufacturing excellence. Yay! We're proud of our work. Alright. What I'm doing here is just kind of taking a look. You see one twisted up bridle strap, that's not a big deal. So it's under here. That's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. Come on down here. I see a bunch of splatter marks there I'm going to have to get rid of because nobody wants their new piano to look like crap. And then boys and girls, that's what's inside your piano too. It's pretty gross. But what I'm looking for, and I just want to see if there's any kind of damage, anything funny going on, anything weird. There's the screw I dropped, clear over there. Yeah, no, the cobwebs. Okay, doesn't look bad. Probably just a clean up, a couple of tunings, and this thing will be ready to roll, but we'll find out. Next step in repairing this piano and getting it ready for sale and everything and getting it back up to snuff, I'm going to use the vacuum cleaner and clean everything I can. I'm going to take out all those keys. I'm going to give it a tuning, all that. So I'm going to start with the vacuum cleaner though. I can't very well video that, but I'll be back in a little while. The keys out, and they're all over here. Fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an occasion. Ha ha ha. Can't help it. Alright, so when I'm looking at this stuff, Those are called punchings. Those are made of felt, those little red things there. And I'm seeing a couple that are just kind of falling apart, not looking so hot. Maybe they're just a little wore out. I don't really think that's moth damage, because if it was, they'd be getting these big fat ones over here. They're definitely tastier to moths. But it does let me know that I'm going to have to do some key leveling and things like that and replace some of those damaged and deteriorating things back there. Just another step in the process. We have to make sure whoever gets this piano next gets the best they can. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, so I just finished vacuuming out underneath where the keys were, and it's looking a lot better. I looked up here at the action, and I'm noticing some dirt on dampers, and I know my camera's not focusing well here, so there you go. There's some dirty dampers there. There's some dirty hammers, especially down at this end here. And they're not terrible, but that looks like fly poop or something to me, which is kind of gross. You know, if this was an individual's piano in their house, I'd ask them if they wanted it cleaned up. But since I'm going to sell it to somebody else, I want to make sure that it looks really great. Up here too, I'm looking at the grooves in the hammers, and if you see, they're not awful. They're really not, but I could probably do a quick resurface on those. Probably tomorrow. I've got students coming in a little bit, so don't have time for a resurface today, but tomorrow I may. And the bass strings here, there's even worse grooving going on there. It's kind of hard to see with the camera, but I'm thinking maybe a quick resurface would be good for this piano, and so we'll be doing that too. But there you go. This is what it looks like when it's all cleaned up. Looks a lot better. Okay, this is just another little step in the process, and it takes quite a while, but I actually go over every single key individually and clean top, sides, and bottom, just to make sure that there's no nastiness, because, you know, I'm somebody's mom. I think about that stuff. I wouldn't want it in my house. And when you look how nasty these things are over here, and those are pretty gross. And they're not just gross on top, they're gross just in general. So I want to make sure I get them pretty clean for the next person. So I have all the keys cleaned and put back in the piano now. And they're looking pretty sharp compared to the way they were. See? Now I'm going to do an inspection along the side here to see if I need to do a key leveling job or not. And I might be in luck. There's a couple that look a little off to me. One or two. But not very many, so it shouldn't be too hard for me to get those all straightened out. So we'll be doing that probably tomorrow. I did polish up some of it there just because it was gross and dirty and I was tired of looking at it. And I'll be doing a lot more of that too. A lot more cobwebs under there. Of course the back is filthy. Those pedals need polished. All the brass needs polished. Not even started on the outside of the cabinet yet, so tomorrow's going to be a big day. Look forward to it. Is that same DeVoe piano that I started on, and it's been more than a couple days now. I got busy doing other things, but I am finishing it up. We have it on the floor, so it's time to finish it up. And I just wanted to take a good look at this bottom board. It's pretty gross, so we're going to clean it up. Hopefully that does the job. I got it cleaned up, but there are some damages in the finish there. You can see them pretty well here. I'm going to be trying to camouflage those so it looks nice and new. I'll check back in a minute. I did a little touching up and camouflaging, and now that board looks pretty darn good compared to where we started, so I'm pretty pleased with it. Time to put it back in the piano and start on the next piece. When I went to go put the bottom board back in, I realized that this board here, the bottom of the piano, say the bottom of the case here, is in pretty rough shape too. It's not looking so hot. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that while the bottom board is off. Gives me a little bit more room down here. We're also going to be polishing up those pedals there. They're looking pretty gross. So we'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to do this fall board here. It's pretty dirty, pretty rusty. That's the inside. If you come over here, there's the name. Some knobs that need shining, whatnot. So I'll get this done next and put it back on. Okay, so while I was working on the key cover here, I noticed there's this nice little nick right there. Let me see if I can get a good shot for you. Anyway, yeah, the finish is completely gone there and everything, so I'm going to have to work a little harder to cover that up than I normally do. But you'll see, it'll be gone, just like everything else. There's also a nice little dent there. And again, that's another camouflage job. Not really piano teching here at this point. This is more like furniture repair. But all in a day's work for me. Alright, we'll be back in a few. I've got repairs setting on this key cover over here. They're coming along. They're not done yet, but they're drying. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the music rack here. As you can see, it's not looking so hot right now. Let's see if we can fix that too. There we go. One of the many things that we do to pianos to make them look better is we polish up the casters. And these go on the front legs, and this one I just polished up on the belt sander, and now I'm going to go ahead and refresh that finish. This one hasn't been done yet, and as you can see, it's pretty foul. And they just look kind of gross down there, so we go ahead and polish them and everything, and refinish them and put them back on. One of the many things that we do when we're getting a piano ready to go back out again after it's been on rent is polish up these guys right here. These are casters, and they go on the front of that DeVoe, and this is what they look like. I already hit those guys there with the bench grinder and some spray paint, as you can tell. And these here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to polish them up with the bench grinder and then spray paint them so that they match. Now don't be offended by that. These are actually steel, and originally in the factory they were painted over. They're not actually brass. Go fig. So they rust and they corrode, they look like crap, and they wind up looking like this, which is not very pretty, when they should look like this. So, we'll show you those as soon as they're back on. Okay, one of the final steps in our process of getting a piano ready to go back out in the world is to work on the bench. In this case, the bench is actually, you know, in one piece and everything. It's a little ugly, but I think we can fix it up. What I'm doing right now is replacing these rubber-headed nails that are on the inside of like a cushion here. And as you can see, they're pretty shot. They're supposed to look more like that one. That one's pretty shot too. Yeah. So what I'm doing now is just taking those out, and I'm going to replace them. I'm also cleaning it up, touching it up, camouflaging any scratches, nicks, dings, dents, whatever. And there's always plenty of those to be had on any given bench. So, but it has to be done. Goes with the piano, and we'll get it done. Here we go. Okay, so here's our DeVoe. It is now on the floor, and it's shiny, and there are no nicks and scratches. It's clean. It's clean inside. It's clean outside. And take this thing off. Look around here. That's all cleaned up too. It looks so much better. We even got it tuned a couple times, so now it sounds good again. So there it is. Another piano, just waiting for the right family to come and get it and enjoy it.